They're versatile. So yes, in primitive form, they seem very basic, but you can combine them to make different shapes. They're performance friendly because they're native to Miro, and they're really light on the processors. Within reason, if you have like 5,000 shapes, you're going to have problems, right? But they are inherently good for performance. The one I really like as well is everyone has access. So it's a level playing field. Everybody can use them. And it's about making really creative, well thought out and relevant images that feel good for what you're doing. So I think it's really nice that everybody can, has the chance to make really cool stuff with shapes. Talked about recoloring, really important, versatile, use it with your clients, different colors, awesome. Limitations equals more creative results. I actually take it back. This is my favorite point. If you have a brief, it kind of limits where you can go, which means you actually come up with more ideas than if it was an open-ended brief. So using only basic shapes means that you are, able to be funneled down a creative direction, and it can be really fun. And it's scalable. Scale them up, scale them down, doesn't change. It's always rendering the same. To bring up shapes, over here in the left panel, you can click here and you can drag out any of your shapes. So that's how we get them. Then, and this is like a little bit of a quick cheat sheet for later if you need it. To scale your shapes, they look like this, and you can drag them from any of the corners or from the sides in any direction. And just like most tools that you use, if you press Shift and click, you're going to scale it in direct proportions. So that's always a good one to know. Then rotating, you will find that down in the bottom left. You can rotate like this all the way around. And a few final ones just on color, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but just in case, here's our color here. You can go up to the color palette. You'll see for the exercises we have today, we actually saved some preset colors because you might want to use a lighter shade, a mid shade, and a darker shade of the same color set. So here we can change this to the lighter one. And if you wanted, you could change the opacity over here, which can come in really handy for shading. I believe this one is also opacity, which we've covered. And the last one before we get to it is switching shapes. Very useful. So if I create a square, which is really just a rectangle with my Shift key pressed, I can also switch over to a circle, which will retain the proportions, but just change the shape, which is very nice and very useful.